The most spooky thing I've dealt with, it's really hard to figure out what that might be, because I literally have a job where every day I can look at a camera and say, yeah, you've got a ghost, congratulations. That's my job, is to take people through the streets of the city, tell them the horrible, savage things that made us the most haunted city in the United States, which is the truth. It's not Savannah, I assure you. The things that happened here were beyond belief and terrifying, and they still happen. But one of the strangest things that ever happened to me, I mentioned on the vampire tour, seeing a shutter I know was there before for no reason, the next day being ripped off a building and gone, was truly a gut check. Because I stood there with my mouth open and the hair was climbing the back of my neck, because I know it can't be like that, except for it was. It was right there and it was gone. It was gone by violence, because there's light bouncing off broken metal for no reason, no weather reason. And the fact that the glass hadn't been touched, quite honestly, really, the first thing I thought is it came from the inside, not the outside. This is old glass, and it wasn't cracked or broken or missing. Something took that shutter apart. Something ripped it off the building. But it didn't come from the outside. And that's really the first thing that rolled through my head, is it came, no, that can't be that way. It can't be that way. I've had all kinds of things happen in the city of New Orleans, particularly downriver. The downriver end is where we were just now, okay? It's the old part that's not touched by time very much, but the things that happen down there are the things that almost always the tour guides only talk about amongst ourselves. And usually when we're completely drunk, to be honest with you. Because there are things that happen that even to us, we don't want to think about it, because it can't be true, except for it is. It is. I have really good friends who are hard-nosed businessmen. I got a buddy of mine, he's a tough dude and a hard-nosed businessman, and his wife was a truck driver in Iraq who's killed people, okay? This is a couple that will literally start throwing punches together at somebody who attacks them, right? They don't play, and they're not scared of anything at all, except for one thing that they told me that happened down at that end of the city, the place that always happens. And when they described it, they were terrified. I could see the look in their eyes. They're both two of the most competent, confident people I've met in my life were terrified, because what happened could not have happened, but they saw it. They saw it. And it disturbs them to this day. It's the truth. And knowing what they told me and knowing other things, I sat and they told me this, and my first thought is, he's back. Wow. That's another story, though, for another tour. But things happen here that just cannot be explained with rational thought, and that is just the flat truth. And people are really uncomfortable addressing the idea that there are ghosts, that there are things that are not understood easily, that folklore might not be folklore. It might be something different. They're terrified of it, I understand that, but at the same time, as I say all the time, this is not where you're from. This is a different world. And just to illustrate very simply, if you drive from the middle of any American city at a highway speed, 60 miles an hour, 65 miles an hour, in one direction for 2 hours, you'll still be on concrete, asphalt, everything's hammer flat, bound up in iron. There's a Starbucks and Bed Bath & Beyond at every corner, right? Every exit, right? You start driving from an hour and a half at highway speed from the middle of New Orleans, west. You've been in the middle of a bayou for more than 200 years. The Cajuns don't go after dark, because in their heart they know the Rougarou and Foufier hunt them. And that means werewolves and the angry dead.
Oh, wow.
They believe it in their heart, and they still lose people out in the Maishak. And they don't like going after dark. And they may be ignorant and superstitious, and we might be slow and easily confused Southern people, or simply because we haven't knocked everything down and bound it up in iron, hammered it flat. There might be more wildness left for us to still see.